Hello and welcome to another episode of Wannabe Entrepreneur. My name is Tiago, your host, and this is the podcast about what it's like to bootstrap your own company. And for the new listeners, let me just kind of recap my situation. I quit my job in June. So from June, I stopped actually getting any income. And actually now in September is the first time that I'm getting some unemployment money from the government state, which, to be honest, it's amazing. I know that most countries don't offer any unemployment support if you're the one quitting your job. In Germany, if you quit for the first 3 months, you normally get blocked, so you don't get any money. But then for the other 9 months, you actually get the unemployment fee. It's amazing, and it feels great, to be honest, because every time now I've been checking my bank account and it was just going down. I just don't want to look at it because it makes me really nervous. And getting some money gives, it's a fresh, a breath of fresh air, and it really feels good. But because I'm not making any money, I'm so far, as I've been telling you from the podcast, I'm getting 12 euros a month from my members. I love you so much, by the way. And if you want to support this podcast, sorry, quick break, but the link will be in the description. Anyways, I'm getting 12 euros from the members and plus a couple of cents from Change It. So this is, as you can imagine, very, 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 very far from salary. So it doesn't look that I'll be making any real money in the next months. So it's what I'm feeling is that I must prioritize my work. So it goes like this. First, being healthy, eating food, breathing, and then work, and then all the other tasks. And with those tasks includes girlfriend, family, friends, whatever. And it's hard for the others to understand because mainly if they are not entrepreneurs, they don't understand why I'm putting so many hours into my projects. I wake up and I'm working until I go to bed most of the days. And I'm moving as well. So I'm moving to Portugal, as you know. And yes, one great thing about this is that I can actually still get the money from Germany in Portugal, so at least for the first 3 months, and then it can be extended to 6 months. So that's amazing. Thank God I'm in the European Union. It's really a great perk. But there's a lot of work to be done, obviously, right? You have to clean the apartment, get the new tenant, sell your furniture, put everything into boxes. There's much work. But it was very hard for me to prioritize this because, for me, if I'm not making any money, I will have to find a job. I'll have to, quit this dream of becoming an entrepreneur. So it's very hard to disconnect from this. But this last week, that's what I've been doing because, I cannot postpone this anymore. I'm moving in 2 days and I have to put everything in boxes. So for the first time in this move, I'm actually prioritizing the move and not the work. But I still have been doing a couple of things, and I want to share them with you. With the Change It, my climate change app, I've been working for a while in the friends request feature, which is a way to make Change It more social. My goal is I want the organic growth, to the number of downloads to increase, and for that I need to use the current user, which are about 50 per day. I need to use them to generate more users, so I need to somehow convince them to share the app, and that's why I'm implementing more social features. And I've been working on this for a while, but now it's finally almost ready. I'm already doing the tests in my devices, Android, iOS. It seems to be working fine as the first version. I'll do a new episode just about it. But today I tested this and it's almost done. Besides this, I'm doing the daily podcast, or these times five days a week. And today, actually, it was published a podcast where I actually am interviewed. So, as you know, last Wednesday I interviewed Derek. He has his own consultancy company agency or podcast agency where he helps other podcasters to edit, to the cover art, the publishing, and so on. It was a great interview. You should listen to it. I don't recall the name the number now, or the name actually, but it was on last Wednesday, and it's his name is there, Derek. He has his own podcast too. It's called Podlogics, and I was interviewed. The theme of that episode is tips and tricks, or kind of I'm telling the story of how I was able to release every day for more than 130 days, and I'm giving a little bit of my background, my story, sharing a little bit of my feelings and some tips and tricks I've used to actually be able to do this, because as it hasn't been easy. Like, I was on holiday, I was with my family, I was traveling, and I was able to somehow keep it consistently sharing and publishing every day. So make sure you go and listen to this podcast if you want to learn a little bit more, about me, especially, being interviewed by someone else is a bit different, because when I'm just sharing my podcast, I kind of pick what I want to share. And when it's someone else interviewing you, they decide what you should talk about. And it's always a different perspective. My goal is that by sharing this, it's kind of a free advertisement, right? It's 30 minutes of Tiago, and now hopefully I will also get some new listeners from his own listeners, from his own network, right? So if he shares within his network his own podcast, and people maybe might be interested in my own podcast, and I'll gain a couple of listeners, I will let you know how the metrics change and if I'm actually getting more or less. So far, I've been featured as well in another episode about Change It. It's called Earth 911, and I could see actually an increase in the number of downloads. So I really hope to see an increase also in the number of listeners for this podcast, but I will let you know. I really believe that being featured in other podcasts and being recommended by others is definitely the best way to grow your audience, and I'll definitely keep you posted. The link of that episode will be in the description of this one, so you just have to scroll down and click and listen to me speaking in the Podlogics, Derek's podcast. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you have a great day or evening, wherever you're listening. And yeah, see you tomorrow.